Well, hey everybody, this is Nicola Grace, the Mission Mentor, and for those of you who are live, I would love it if you could say hi in the chat box. Go down into that little chat box down the bottom. There's an app that you can just click, not an app, an icon you can click and say hello, who are you? You're all on mute at the moment. And for those of you who are meeting me for the first time, I am the person who helps you find out why you're really on the planet, what problem in the world you're here to solve, and how to build a social enterprise for-profit business so you can get really well paid to solve that problem. And I'm known as the Mission Mentor. I'm a best-selling author many times over, and my whole claim to fame is working with global change makers to make change in the world. And I'm going to be joined here today with Marguerita Vorobioff, and I'm going to unmute you, Marguerita, so you can just say hi.
Hi. Glad to be here.
So Marguerita and I have had a really interesting journey. She is the founder of the Conscious Wealth Institute, has been helping people raise their level of financial abundance for many years now. Her new business, it's not new, 2 years old now, your new branding.
Yeah.
Pitbull Mindset.
Yeah.
Pitbull Mindset, and she's going to tell you a bit more about that coming up. And that's that next level of her mission, because I know a lot of you are stepping up into the next level of your mission, and she incubated her new branding and positioning in my signature program, Right Mission, Right Money. So she's not only a friend and a colleague, she's also a graduate of Right Mission, Right Money. She's an author that she's going to tell you a little bit about her book. So you've come here to help to listen to her beautiful voice, an opera singer as well, and helping people move through blocks using that voice of hers. So Marguerita, I'll just have you say hi and talk about the title of your book and what's behind Pitbull Mindset in terms of what it is that it's offering the world and how you came to that.
Well, it's a long story, so I won't tell you the whole extended story, but I did have, up until a couple of years ago, I had a brand called the Conscious Wealth Institute, which I was totally in love with. And a friend of mine who is also a branding expert was saying, are you sure that that's the right brand for you? And I'm like, yes, that's me. Conscious Wealth Institute is me. But it had stagnated. It had served a lot of people, and it had served me for about 2 years, but it had stagnated and absolutely plateaued. And it wasn't until I was at an event, met a new person who happened to be, he had a coaching school. So I'm a coach, a mindset coach, and he had a coaching school years previous, and taught many, many people how to be coaches. And I just met him at an event. We were having lunch together, and there was a woman there who turned to us and said, oh, you're from this event. And she started talking about it. And I do what I always do without even thinking about it. I went into coaching mode. And as we walked away, this new guy who I had just met said, oh my God, what do you call your business? Pitbull Coaching. And I went, what do you mean? And he said, man, you didn't hold back. You just went straight into laser coaching, and you just nailed that woman. I went, oh my God, is that good? He said, it was awesome. So, and that name, Pitbull, kind of just really resonated with me, and I didn't understand why. And it did take me a couple of months to embrace the name, but here's what happened is that I wanted to play a much bigger game. And the reason the Conscious Wealth Institute is stagnated is because it could not carry the level of game that I wanted to play.
Oh, Can I interject?
Yes, go for it.
I'm gonna interject by just saying, can you repeat that, please?
So the Conscious Wealth Institute brand could not support and facilitate the level of game that I wanted to play. It was keeping me playing small because I had started it with a small mindset, and it didn't embody all of me. The Conscious Wealth Institute was a shadow of myself. It didn't allow me to be all of me. I was trying to play the role of nice, fluffy light worker, which I am a light worker. And it just didn't allow me to be all of me. Pitbull, which a lot of people find quite confronting, they're like, whoa, because it's got big energy. The brand has got a much bigger energy, but it liberates me from playing nice, from having to be politically correct all the time. And it just allows me to say to my clients exactly, if I see them playing small, I just go, okay, enough of the bullshit. Let's just deal with that and get that out of the road. Let's just eliminate that story right here, right now, because it's not serving you, and move on. So I can be more direct. I can be, yeah, absolutely. That's the Pitbull language. So, yeah, I can be much more direct, much more targeted, and just the people who work with me know what they get, and they know that I'm not going to tolerate their bullshit stories and allow them to stay stuck in that small mindset. So if you really do want to play a bigger game, then you need to walk with somebody to help you to really step into that bigger part of you.
Absolutely.
And that's what I do for my clients. And we will talk. So today what I'm going to do is do some facilitation, do some clearing. And at the end of today, what I'll do is I'll actually share an opportunity that people can work with me, because I've got a retreat coming up. But right at the end, I'll also do some sound healing. So, and that is to really help break up the patterns, the belief systems, any blocks that might be coming in from you or from somewhere else that are stopping you being in the flow of money, wealth, and success.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's really important right now, Marguerita, because there's a couple of things that are going on around the world. I mean, it's not being talked about, but I'm seeing it in my business when I'm talking to business people. There's a real slowdown in spending, and there has been pretty much ever since the US elections last year. So despite all of these trumped up, excuse the pun, the trumped up figures as far as the stock market is concerned, I'm noticing more and more people are really finding it difficult to get to that next level of their abundant cash flow. And then the second thing that's going on is that astrologically, if you're into astrology, this month has got a lot of planets in retrograde, and when a whole lot of things go in retrograde, it's time for inner reflection and to help you springboard forward. And for those of you who don't know me, you're meeting me for the first time, you've probably never heard me rant and rave about astrology, but I'm very skeptical about it, because I'm not into having planets and stars controlling my experience. So, I'm always bucking up against the cage. Just like, Mercury goes into retrograde, that should not affect my communication. And all these planets going into retrograde, that shouldn't affect my ability to help others, to serve others, and to experience, receiving rewards for that. So when we do this work, bottom line, during these times, I think we're shifting things and we're moving things at a much faster rate, so that once you start moving forward, you actually catapult forward. Would you agree with that summarization, Marguerita?
And the reason that, the law of attraction has been out for 10, 12 years now when it came out with The Secret. I mean, the law of attraction's been around for eternity, but the
talking about it and the teaching of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's been out in the public domain, but still people are just going, why can't I make this happen? And it's because there are blocks and belief systems on so many levels.
Oh, yeah.
And it's ongoing work. I have people say to me, oh, well, I'll do your course and then it'll all be okay. Well, you can do my course and it will help you to shift. Absolutely. And it will probably help you to have a big shift. But it doesn't mean the work is done. The work is never all done. I'm constantly doing more courses, working with coaches and mentors, and doing things to help me educate myself, plus immersing myself in the right environments. This is critical. If you don't immerse yourself in the right environments, then it's just not going to happen. And one of the biggest lessons that I got in environment was when I went to Brazil last year with a whole bunch of millionaires and billionaires, and we went over there to pretty much brainstorm and collaborate and support each other, and it was really intense. And I had never been in that kind of environment before. And it really showed me just what playing with a big mindset meant. And they think completely differently to most small business people. It's like they're from another planet, the way they think. They have a level 8 or 9 mindset when it comes to business, money, problem solving, all that kind of thing. And whereas most small business people have a level 2 to 3 mindset.
Small business.
And when you have a level,
mindset, right?
Absolutely. You go to most networking events, and I went to a networking event last night, and I'm sorry if the listeners are a little bit squeamish about swearing, but I went to a business event last night that was called Fuck Up. And it was about entrepreneurs actually sharing their fuck ups. And I have stopped going to a lot of networking events because I just couldn't get into it. When I went to last night, completely different level of playing field, completely different mindset. Some were in startups, but all had a really high level playing mindset. When they talk about cash flow problems, they talk about $1 million cash flow problems, not how am I going to pay the mortgage this week? So, and yet you were saying before about a wonderful story about Elon Musk. Tell that, because that was crazy.
Oh yeah, Elon Musk. It's about the quality problem, right? The more money you earn, the bigger quality the problem is. But it's still, in essence, it's still the same. Flow gets blocked up, and you're just at that next level of block. So whether you're looking to bust through your first 6-figure glass ceiling or your 7-figure glass ceiling, it just comes back to the same thing. And Elon Musk had said that at one stage in his life, he invested billions into Tesla, and then millions into Solar City, but he had to borrow money from his brother to pay his rent, right? So I mean, bottom line, what it is that we're saying here, I forgot to put the video on me. Bottom line is what we're saying here is that the clearing, you're an opera singer, Marguerita, and in opera they have a fantastic saying, it ain't over till the fat lady sings. Like, always the big opera singer at the end. So clearing is constant, because every time you want to go to the next level of your abundance, the next level of the experiences that you want, you've got another layer of a subconscious mind safety zone kicking in to create the resistance. So you can't ever stop. You should always be doing clearing work. And I work with Marguerita on a one-on-one basis. She helps me and I help her. We have we respect each other's work really greatly. So I can tell you firsthand that the energy that goes through your body and the shifts that begin to happen with that sound and with the techniques she's going to be sharing with you today, it really makes a huge difference. And, even from the perspective of just being clear-headed and starting to actually have the big ideas come in that are going to get you to that big leap that you need to make. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do today?
Okay, so let's start by actually setting an environment and setting an intention around removing blocks today. So we're going to actually do some transformation work. This is not just an information session.
Oh, absolutely
This is a transformation session.
Absolutely.
So you're going to experience some shifts on the call today, but the key here is that you have the intention to make that shift. If you are blocking the shift, then you won't be able to make the shift. So I want everybody to close their eyes.
Oh, first, before we do that, Marguerita, sorry to interrupt.
Yes.
Shall we have everybody put their intention in the chat box? So shall we do the experience and then they can put so it's like it's out there and we're all focused on helping each other move all of those various blocks?
Yeah, sure. If you want to do that now, yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay, cool. Yep. So in the chat box, everybody, if you just go down to the bottom, you'll see a little, what do you call it? An icon. and at the bottom of your Zoom app. And if you click on the chat and you go over into the chat box here, it's like, what do you want to shift? So just be open, get it out there, because the more of us that look on that, we can all help each other make the big shifts today. We don't want you to walk
Absolutely.
away not feeling like you've had a shift. Okay, so take it away, Marguerita.
Okay. All right. So when you're ready, just close your eyes. Take a deep cleansing breath. And as you release it, be fully present here, right now. So forgetting about anything that might have happened today, before the call, or yesterday, or during the week. Leave all that where it is, in the past. And another deep breath. And as you release it, let go of all worries and anxiety about the future, because that is just projection. Anything that you are worried about in the future is simply you are projecting a belief system on the future. So bring all your attention and awareness into this present moment where you are perfectly okay. And there is nothing to worry about in this moment. And this moment is all you have. That's right. And now we call upon Divine Mother, Spirit, Universal Source, Divine Father, to be present with us today and to help us to remove all blocks, structures, anything that could be stopping us from experiencing the flow of financial wealth and freedom, and wealth in all aspects of our life. So health, relationships, career, spirituality, intelligence, social, well-being in general. Shifting all our blocks to being in the stream of well-being and wealth in all aspects of our life. Clearing away all impediments that either have come from our belief systems that we have adopted, or other impacts that are coming from us from other sources. So protecting us from any other source impacting our future well-being. Enabling and empowering us to step into a new state of positive flow, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, so we can be the best that we can be in the world. Be the truly powerful being that we were born as. And we thank Divine Mother, True Source, Divine Father, and Spirit for honouring us with their presence and their blessings today, and facilitating the shift for us within this next hour. Okay, taking a deep breath and release it. And embodying this new space of all possibilities. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Now, what I want to do now is to really embed this. I want to do some EFT tapping. So if the listeners aren't familiar with EFT tapping, then it is simply tapping on the meridian points of the body. And I'm not going to explain how or why that works right now. There is a science behind it, and it does work. But we're just going to do a couple of simple tapping rounds. And all you need to do is follow along with me, tap on the points that I'm tapping on, and repeat the phrases that I'm saying. So we're just going to start by tapping on the inside of the eye or the eyebrow point, and just repeat what I'm saying and move through the points as I'm tapping on them. I choose to stand fully in my power. I choose to allow the flow of money and well-being in my life. Releasing all blocks and belief systems that are preventing me from being in the flow. That are holding me back from being the best that I can possibly be. Belief systems that are keeping me playing small. I am ready to step up and play a bigger game. I choose to collaborate with Spirit in enabling me to create my big vision for the future. Moving forward with clarity and confidence. Taking inspired action every single day. Releasing small-minded thinking. Releasing all fears, doubts, and belief systems that are holding me back and keeping me playing small. Okay, deep breath. And release it. And again, deep breath. Releasing all that old energy that's just been shifted out. Okay, I do apologise for the construction sounds in the background. That is not normal for Tambourine Mountain, but having just had the big wet that we have had here, lots of we didn't have any flooding because we were on a mountain, but lots of structures did not hold up, and there's a lot of rebuilding going on. So please excuse the hammering in the background. Okay, so I want you all to tune into how you feel right now. Okay. All right. Awesome. And let us know. Let us know if you've felt a shift in the chat box. Shifting fear of uncertainty. Intention is to shift the blocks, to have the courage to step into my power and play a way bigger game. My intention is to shift my block of not being confident enough to move forward from my current business to my new business. Awesome. So all of you want to step up and play a bigger game, which is fantastic. And it's really important that you are constantly moving toward that. You are taking steps toward that. It's not about making massive strides and leaps. You will sometimes, but it's about taking those baby steps every single day toward your vision, toward your goal. And most people they over-anticipate what they can achieve in the short term, and they underestimate, they overestimate what they can achieve in the short term. They underestimate what they can achieve in the long term. So people want to be a millionaire within 12 months. But is that realistic for them with the mindset that they're at? Potentially not. But they underestimate the fact that they could be a multimillionaire within 5 years. And this is what stops a lot of people making the progress that they are perfectly capable of making, because they get disappointed. It's not working for me. Well, you've got to let go of your attachment to the outcome. Let go of your emotional attachment to what's happening in this moment right now. Because if you have the right focus, if you continue to take relentless action forward, then you are going to achieve your goal. It is inevitable. But if you have an attachment to achieving your big vision within the next 2 months and it doesn't happen, then you get deflated, you don't take action for a while, you lose all the momentum that you gained in the beginning, and nothing ever happens. So you've got to let go of that emotional attachment, and you've got to work on your mindset every single day and just trust and have faith that you have the power, you have the ability to be able to achieve whatever it is you put your mind to. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. That was Henry Ford who said that, and it's totally true. So, yeah, okay. It's a get-rich-quick false paradigm, lotto mindset, absolutely. And I'm not saying that that's not possible. Anything is possible. But if you are fixated on the get-rich-quick mindset, then you are disempowering yourself. So open yourself up to all possibilities. And if it happens overnight, fantastic. If it takes 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, embrace that as well. But if you stay stuck in the, it's not happening for me, it's not happening for me, why isn't it working, why isn't it working, why isn't it working, why isn't it working, Abraham Hicks, I love it, then guess what? It's never going to work. But you never know what is happening beneath the surface. You know the whole iceberg thing with most of the iceberg, 98% of the iceberg submerged under the surface? You don't know what's happening underneath the surface when you have the right focus and you take relentless action to move yourself forward. One of the speakers that was at the Fuck Up Night last night, I hated him.
I'm just going to unmute myself so I can laugh. So for those of you who didn't get the beginning of Marguerita, she's pitbull mindset, right? She's a pitbull mindset coach, and the whole thing about being a pitbull is the tenacity and the straightforwardness. And so we apologize in advance for the language, but this is a group of millionaires who have actually called their networking group the fuck ups, right? So, absolutely. Sorry.
So that's just not me swearing, guys. It actually is called the fuck up group. And it's multimillionaire entrepreneurs who come to talk about, I'll say stuff ups, to talk about their stuff ups and where things went wrong for them. And one young fella came on, he's like 20. And I hated him instantly because he's potentially a future unicorn, and unicorns, are billion-dollar companies within the first 5 years of inception. And he's got that kind of mindset. And he said that Google, Snapchat, and Facebook were all started by students. So he has that in his field that he could be one of those people, and he's doing amazing things. So he's a 20-year-old student who's also running a company with 6 employees already. And he said most of his days, his head is going, holy shit. He's constantly in holy shit mode. And it doesn't matter what's going on. He's managing a whole heap of stuff that might be going too quick for him and he's got to catch up, or it's not going as fast as he wants, or there's challenge that he's facing that he's got to overcome. But the difference between his mindset and somebody else's mindset is solution focused. So even though he's going, holy shit, his mindset is, holy shit, how do I solve this problem? Not, holy shit, it's all falling apart, everything goes wrong for me, nothing works for me, why does this always happen for me? It's, holy shit, I'm in this for the long haul, I'm going to make this happen, how do I solve this problem? It's a completely different headspace to most people. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So I'm just going to close my door because that might actually shut out a lot of the external noise that we've got coming in.
Marguerita, I've got a question for you.
Go for your life.
When people are really stuck, right? And I have this periodically. It's like it gets to the point where it's like something's just not moving. I'm really stuck, and then it doesn't even come into your mind to know what to do, right? How do you start to get unstuck? Like, how do you start? Give us that.
All right. Well, the first thing that, and this took me quite some time to be able to really get into this headspace, is to, you know how I said when I did the initial intention setting, I said that everything that you are concerned about in the future is a projection. So if you're in, as some of us get into this space sometimes, into panic mode, even some of the really big players get into panic mode sometimes because it's not working and they've got no cash flow. And some of the speakers were talking about this last night, but their fear is that there's not enough money, that it's all going to fall apart, that I'm not going to be able to pay the bills. And that's actually a future projection. And you're projecting that, okay, well, I may not have enough money right in this moment, but when that bill comes around, I'm still not going to have enough money. That is a projection. That is a belief system. So eliminate all the projections and just go through them in your mind. You can EFT tap them to what EFT does is it helps to release your emotional attachment to the situation. So our fears, our doubts, our things in our head that are telling us that it's not safe, we're not good enough, and we don't deserve it, those things that are going on in our head are purely they're belief systems. But if we have an emotional attachment to that belief system, then that's what causes the disruption in our vibration, and we're not able to align with what we want. It's impossible to align with what we want on a frequency level, because you've got to, like attracts like, and you've got to be vibrationally matched with what you want. You cannot possibly align yourself vibrationally when you have a disruption that's going, it's never going to happen, I don't have enough, I don't deserve it, I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not enough. All these things that are going on that just disrupt your vibration. So let's focus on that right now. I want anybody if you've got any stress around any situation in your life right now, I want you to bring that into your awareness. The other thing that we do is we tend to sweep the stuff under the carpet because it's too uncomfortable to deal with. Now is your time to bring it up and deal with it. So we're going to go through a process.
Yes. Oh, sorry, Marguerite, just before you do that, everybody, I'm just going to go down into the collective consciousness, and I'll mute myself, but I'm going to be tapping away all of the beliefs that I'm feeling are coming up from the group. So you'll be able to see them. And then as you see them, if you feel some kind of resonance or some kind of an emotional connection to them, you know that you've actually got that belief, and I've actually picked up a belief that's holding you back, because we want to get big shifts. So the more we can get visual on it, the better. Go.
Awesome. Okay, brilliant. That's perfect, because the more we collaborate our energies, then the more we'll be able to shift. Okay, so I want everybody to just focus on anything that's causing you stress right now. Any fear that you have, anxiety that you might have in any area of your life. If it's not finances, then you can think of something else. But if you've got some financial stress, worry, whatever, bring it into your awareness right now. Really embrace it, because your fears, your anxieties, your stresses actually are calling out for your attention. And if you don't deal with them, they're not going to go anywhere. So take a deep breath and feel that discomfort right now. Allow it. Just allow it. Honor it. Embrace it. Give it your full awareness and attention. That's right. That's right. I'm just doing some collective clearing of my own for everybody. So as you're sitting with that discomfort, notice where you're feeling that in your body, because it will be in your body somewhere. And if you can't make that physical connection, that's okay. Just pay attention to the feeling. But if you can feel it somewhere in your body, then really focus on where that is in your body. And again, give it your full attention, your full awareness. That's right. Now I want you to give it your complete and total unconditional love. The reason you're giving it unconditional love is because you're honoring it. This feeling has been there to keep you safe. It believes it is protecting you. So let it know how much you appreciate its service. And as you send it unconditional love, you're releasing your resistance to this feeling. And as you release resistance, you enable it to shift. As long as you're pushing against it, ignoring it, stuffing it down, it can't go anywhere. It can't shift. So as you're paying full attention to it, sending it appreciation and unconditional love, I want you to ask it, what is it trying to say to you? What is it trying to tell you? That's right. Just really stay with the feeling. If you don't hear a message coming from it, that's okay. Just still be with it. But if it is saying something, if you are hearing a message, then embrace that message and say thank you. Thank you for being a constant companion who has relentlessly been my guide getting this message to me. I honor you for that. And then let it know that its service is now complete. It's done its service. You're giving it a permanent holiday. It's time for this feeling to go on holiday permanently. And I want you to see in your mind's eye an open door or an open window close by. And let it know that it's time to leave. Time to go on holiday. And just really stay with it until it is completely gone. That's right. So what I'm doing right now is just some instant miracle technique to shift whatever it is that you have been, that has been your companion, no longer serves you. That's right. Very good. Okay. And when that is completely gone, just stay with it until it's gone. Now, when it's completely gone, I want you to close the open door or the open window and take a deep breath and tune back into that space where that feeling was. What do you notice? What do you notice now that that entity, that feeling has gone? You can type it into the chat box if you like. Excitement. Awesome, Cynthia. That's brilliant. Okay, Nicola, there'll never be enough. The universe doesn't support my work. Okay, that's a common belief for a lot of people. Free. Awesome, Stephen. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, brilliant. That was a pretty big shift, everybody. Open. Very cool. That is brilliant. Very cool. All right, Nicola, do you want to come back on and let us know what you were noticing during that?
I'm not quite sure what level to speak at because I've got quite a few people here. A lot of my clients on here, but some people who I have not worked with personally, but I felt that there was quite a lot of entity blockages in the sacral creative area. So for those of you who have been feeling so blocked, you haven't even got the ideas coming, that's because there was some jam up happening in that area. So I felt like there was a massive movement away from that area, for whoever, that would make sense to. And if that's making sense to you, please put it in the chat box so I know who I was tuning into and what I was feeling. But it was kind of like this big blobby massive stuff just moving away. So just really start paying attention to what's going on in your creative thinking, because with that unblocked, then the thoughts on what to do because you need to take action, right? We have to move the blocks and then take action, so that you can get more flow and abundant flow happening in your life.
Absolutely. And I just want to, we talk about manifestation and creation. You will manifest whatever your core values are, because your core values are what dictates your results. So for me, one of my core values is consciousness. And sometimes things that happen seem so random, and yet I know it's because of my core values, it's because of my focus, it's because of my vision boards, it's because of all the work that I do and where my mindset is and what I focus on. But just a little story about manifesting. I went on a trip to the United States a few years ago to be in the room with one of my mentors and do one of his courses live in the United States. And I met some amazing people over there. And one of those people, relief, that's awesome, Natalie. One of those people we sort of stayed in touch. We're in touch on Facebook, and then we touched base later on, talking about affiliate programs, because I was actually doing a course, an affiliate course, a JV program, learning about how to do JVs to accelerate my business. And as you can see, the learning never stops, the education never stops. And he put me in touch with another guy, and we were talking about JVs. And this other guy says to me, look, we've got a very small, intimate group who does global healing calls it was Sunday in the States and Monday here. And just reading the messages. And do you want to join us? I'm like, global healing, absolutely. So what we got together, and we were all about channeling the energy that the two leaders brought through and sending it out into the world to provide healing globally on a global scale, and to bring consciousness on a global scale, which consciousness is my top core value. So after several months of doing this, all of a sudden we worked with the energy of Divine Mother. Divine Mother came through and said, right, we've done a lot of healing for the world. It's now time to look after the people who are doing this work and get them as powerful as possible in the world. So in his words, or in Divine Mother's words, if a spaceship comes onto Earth, then we're all powerful enough to deal with whatever comes from that spaceship. So they're hilarious the way they speak. It's just, it's a bit surreal. But all of a sudden, several months ago, they started working on us and our collective consciousness and giving us these incredible energies that we will eventually go out and use with people in the world. The reason I was on those calls was because of the focus that I have had for years about consciousness, about global healing, about helping to bring consciousness to the world. So that's what manifested. I had no idea that these people even existed, or that I would be working with Divine Mother and divine energies on myself and other people. So, it's just nothing ever happens by accident. It is your focus that gets you your results.
For sure. Are that the same people you were talking to me yesterday when we did that session, and you did that new energy movement that I just had such a really huge shift with?
Absolutely, absolutely. And awesome. I'm not able to use those energies just yet with groups of people, because I'm not strong enough. After doing that energy work with you yesterday, I actually had to go and have a lie down. So I was just a bit shattered. So we're building our systems to be able to take these energies, because they are very powerful and very intense.
Right. You are going to be doing some of that work in your retreat coming up, aren't you? Do you want to tell us a little bit about your retreat, and also how people can get to work with you maybe on a one-on-one basis as well, for those that aren't, aren't in Australia, and then we'll do the sound healing.
Yeah, absolutely. So I do have a retreat coming up in 2 weeks' time. It is called Peace, Love, Money, and it starts 2 weeks today. It is 3 days. It is a residential retreat. So you will be immersed in these energy healings, the EFT tapping. It is about helping you to not only facilitate your spiritual growth, your emotional growth, but also clear the blocks that you have to your financial well-being, to having more money in your life, and making the connection between being on purpose, living your life, and absolutely empowered to go out and share your gift in the world so you can make a bigger difference and live the lifestyle that you want to live. So anything, all things are possible. All possibilities are able to be created when you have the right mindset, when you're in alignment. And that's what this 3-day retreat is all about. And make no mistake, this is not for people who just want to come to a retreat and feel good at the end of it. You are going to go deep. If you're ready to go deep, then this retreat is for you. So it starts Friday the 21st of April in Australia, goes through to Sunday the 23rd. It's at Coogee Mudlow Island, just off Brisbane in Queensland, Australia. Lovely little retreat. And we're going to have the most amazing time. And it will be fun too. So there'll be work, but it will be fun too. So there's that. Or, so that if you want to go to that, I'll put it in the chat box, but it is my website, which is pitbullmindset.com/peace-love-money. And I'll send that to everyone. So that link is now in the chat box. And if you can't make the retreat, if you're overseas or that just doesn't work, those dates don't work for you, then you can always go to pitbullmindset.com/discovery. Now there you'll find a booking form, and they're at a reduced rate. So normally a breakthrough session with me, there's actually a link to a breakthrough session on there, a 60-minute breakthrough session. Normally that's $497. But for today, if you want to take advantage of that and work one-on-one with me, then it's $97 US for the people who are either listening to this live or who are listening to the replay in the next few days. So that'll get you a 60-minute session with me where I'll help you to uncover the blocks that are stopping you from moving forward and help you to clear some of those major blocks. So yes, so that's the deal that you get for today. So pitbullmindset.com/peace-love-money for the retreat, or pitbullmindset.com/discovery to book that one-on-one session with me.
Yep.
Okay, so who's ready for the sound healing?
Yep, everybody. We all are. Woo!
Cool. Awesome. All right, I'm going to turn my video off because I need to stand up to do this, which can be a bit distracting. So everybody, take a deep breath in. Focus on your intention. What it is that you want to clear right here, right now. Remembering that divine mother, divine father, true source and spirit is here with you now, helping you to shift whatever you need to shift and to be able to facilitate your intention for today. So just allow this to allow yourself to be released from whatever is holding you back right now. Kia pransia tutian, etsa shinte ila kiatsa no hakiantala. Disnyansa toktia prela tiatsa meha tishno ki atsantia loha. Three nations in Omera la chansi teira lina. Shenan Cinderella. Momentarelo scinenza, momentarelo. Mitsushinanda. Levantunisha alamitsutena. Oh, le chansetama onare lascia. Le manse non trala, o mare la scienza. Scene mara. Scienza, chianza, o ti elanti, ti antianza. Dita precalia cuci ana hayanta, ita prekinsi inna, kia, lia, tsu ienantia kala. Minsa precalia to ci ashnianta, detia prala, itsa patiana, ishan si to alianta kiatsana. Ninta pre ilatia kozatia, kiananeanta kozi anna. Nishan seita, drazi shianta, lactia, troia, ketsinanda. Ninta pradia santa. Nin santaria kenta, itsa menta. Shin santa, getianta, grazia lanta. Ninta, ninta, ninta. And taking a deep breath. And before you come back, I want you to just reflect on the words I'm about to speak and repeat them in your mind or out loud if you wish. I now fully embrace and embody my true power. Release any stories that are holding me back, including any stories that believe in external interference, in internal interference, any beliefs that I'm not good enough, that it's not safe, or that I don't deserve it, any fears or doubts, or self-esteem or self-confidence issues, all dissolved completely in this moment. I anticipate the manifestation of my vision for my future. In the foreseeable future. And acknowledge that whilst this may take a little time to manifest in this real world third dimension experience, I continue to trust and have faith that this life is happening for me, not to me, and that everything will unfold perfectly. It is done. It is done. It is done. And taking a deep breath. And bringing your full awareness and attention back into the room. And I'm going to get you to do one more thing before we come back and wrap this up for today. Sorry, still clearing some stuff. Okay, I want you to stand. Your physiology directly affects your psychology. So what we're going to do is a very quick little exercise. I want you to stand straight and tall and throw your arms out wide. So when we're feeling contracted and small and disempowered, we tend to contract physically. If you're feeling unsure of yourself when you walk into a room, you'll tend to contract. You may not do that, but you'll tend to contract. Your energy will contract, your physical self will contract. What we're going to do is a power pose, and then you're going to step into a bigger version of yourself. So, arms out wide, feet shoulder width apart, head back, spine straight, stretch as straight as you can, and breathe. Expand your energy. Allow your full power to descend and embody. You embody your full power. Allow it to integrate, infuse within you, bringing back your power from anywhere around the world, around the cosmos, in different dimensions and universes, in past lives. Bringing it all back into your physical existence right here, right now. That's right. Empowered, confident, knowing your true self-worth. Nothing and nobody can stand in your way when you are in your full power. Embody it now. And I want you to imagine that there is a bigger version of you standing right here, because whatever you want to manifest, you must step into the bigger version of you to be able to create it. So standing tall, still expanded, I want you to imagine this bigger version of you that you're going to step into right now. And on the count of 3, you're going to step sideways into that bigger version of you. And 1, 2, 3. Allow that to infuse within you. Embody it, embrace it, be it. Be this bigger version of you right now. That will integrate within you over the next coming days. Keep reminding yourself that you are that bigger version now. You think bigger. You know you're bigger. Look to your left where the smaller version of you was and put your hand out and dissolve it into love. So that little person does not exist anymore. That smaller version of you does no longer exist. Only the bigger version of you. So just dissolve it into love. And take another deep breath to embody this new big version of you. See how it feels. And keep reminding yourself of just how powerful you truly are. Okay. Right, we're coming back because we've got to wrap it up. I know that everybody, we have taken an hour of your time. Thank you very, very much.
Yeah, and I would really appreciate it just before we close, if everybody could just put in what their experience was, how they found the session and the movement and what have you. And I'm also going to email everybody to the links for Marguerita, and for those of you watching on Facebook or YouTube or what have you, we'll drop the links below too where you can get hold of her and her amazing work. So thank you so much, Marguerita. And again,
thank you.
We'd really love your feedback. Don't hold back. We want to know how it was, because I know with me, whenever you do those really high notes, and I think it's when you get up to A and then you went into A flat.
Yeah.
It's like, because I'm really sensitive to energy. I'm like, my whole body, I could really feel like just things like moving, and we'd love to hear your feedback, like what happened for you, what do you feel moved? But I certainly feel a lot clear-headed, bigger, open, all those things that people were saying. So thank you so much, Marguerita.
My pleasure. And that's just an hour. Imagine what 3 days is going to be like. Intense.
Yeah. Well, intense, but intense, but also expanding and opening.
Oh,
and
you will be a different person when you leave that event, without a doubt.
Yeah, no question. Awesome. Great. Thanks, Marguerita. Thanks, everybody, for showing up live. Thanks for those of you watching this on replay. And we'll see you real soon.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye for now.
Great feedback. Bye.
Bye. So, Marguerita, I'm just going to stop.